Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's all right. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. All right, so this week on the HERshyt Show is a new topic that we really have not discussed at all. Like, we've thrown it out there, like our I don't care. But we haven't really directly expressed this conversation before. And it's going to be about the LGBTQ community. Like, period, point blank, be who you want to be.
Yeah.
Society has gotten... And I'm just jumping into it because it is what it is. Like, you cannot... Oh, my God. There's so much hatred still embedded in that community, and it's sad. It's came a long way. Don't get me wrong. The acceptance has came a long way in society. But, hell, since Jungle Fever, the acceptance of, interracial couples have came a long way as well, but it's still spat on. Mm-hmm. But the LGBTQ community has been treated still like shit. I don't get it.
People fear what they don't understand.
But I think, honestly, a lot of people that have that deep hatred about it are curious themselves.
Well, a lot of things are reflection.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah.
What you cannot stand in somebody, put that mirror in front of your face. That's
but
all
we've legit seen it. And it does seem like from my opinion, from the outside looking in, because no, I am not gay. But I have seen the transitions of the hatred or the anger or the confusion that somebody battles within themselves. Mm-hmm. And then once they finally come and tell the family or finally get it out on the table, you can see that weight lift. And they're free. They feel free. They're still, but of course there's still other people in society that are ignorant as fuck, but you can see the transition. So it I don't know. Talk to me about it. Because I can't speak from personal experience. Uh-huh. I can only speak from what I've seen from other people.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to help people be true to themselves.
That's just it. And there's a lot of people that have them tendencies that don't know how to accept it.
Yeah. They're fighting demons within themselves.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. A lot of people think, well, how can you just turn out gay? How does that... No.
You don't just turn out.
Always been that way.
And I'm not a scientist, and I'm not.
It's genetics. A lot of it is genetics.
I believe that.
I don't care what anybody says. It's genetics.
We've seen we.
I mean, there's things. Why like there's I don't know the name.
The X and Y chromosome.
Yeah, a lot of it is genetics. And
now you do have people that they go through their. What they call it, the gay phase or the lesbian phase, like college days, and they're testing the waters.
That's just a party. I mean,
yeah.
That's just a party. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
They're bisexual. They like, both men and women or whatever. Okay. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. But there's some situations where people, and I was saying it off camera or whatnot. I was watching Station 19, the show where there is a gay fireman. And his daddy bashed him his whole life. Like, if you ain't watched Station 19, it's like Grey's Anatomy. You're going to snot up and cry, and it gets real deep. But
cried.
I did. I actually shedded a tear.
Because I was impressed. I was very
because
impressed.
he was, but it was true what
I know, that's why it touched you. I know. Because it's very real, and you're like, damn, I didn't look at it like that. I didn't know, yeah.
Yeah, so the episode went, there was a woman, they got called to a scene. The woman was pregnant. She was obviously drunk off her ass, but she was pregnant and had the baseball bat and done hit her husband upside his head with a baseball bat, whatever. And it boiled down to it. She ended up popping him in the nose. The gay firefighter, she ended up popping him in the nose. And he was just like, towards the end, when him and his buddy was talking back at the station, he said, the sad thing is, she's supposed to be a Christian woman. She's drunk. Smoking, said there was like them 80s ashtrays sitting around all over the scene.
The 80s.
They end up delivering the baby. The baby, thank God, was healthy, whatever. But this is like real life situation on this television show. And I'm like, man, like they hit the nail on the head with this one. Like you said, it was some Paulding County shit, for real.
I said, just Paulding?
Yeah. So, and she was abusive to her husband or whatever. He was so focused on her and the baby, whatever. But it boiled down to it, like he said, this lady can walk into her church and be forgiven by repenting her sins and whatnot. But him as a gay man, growing up in a Christian household, he was treated like shit by his dad. His mom was just, oh, I love you, But his dad was just like, no. But come to find out, he found a picture of his dad on a gay website looking for men. So he told him very bluntly, no, I can't be forgiven in a church, which is sad. It's very sad because you're supposed to come as you are, period, point blank. That's my opinion.
I agree with that.
If you're any religion, you can't be against anybody loving who they want to love. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not religious. I'm not throwing politics in it. I'm not a scientist. None of that. I just feel like
that's
everybody.
Common sense. That's love.
Yeah, you be with who you want to be with at the end of the day. Period. So he told his dad. He called him out because he had to come and get a COVID test or whatnot, and he was like, "I got a close contact with my golfing buddy," and he called his dad out. Was like, "Brett, for one, you don't golf. For two, I saw your picture. For three, either you gonna tell mom or I am." You didn't hate me growing up for who I am. You hated yourself because you couldn't be true to yourself and be free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they hit the nail on the head because you see it.
Some people you would never think in a million years.
No.
You're like, okay.
Even people that swear up and down that they're supporters of everybody and they show that they're supporters of everybody and they're doing great things in the community, let their child be gay.
Oh, yeah.
Or trans, not even just gay, just trans. They want to change their gender. You see, I don't understand where that hatred comes from, because that's really what it is. It's a deep-rooted hatred that I don't get. I don't understand.
Personally, I think they had this perception. Their parents, they want their child to turn out in some way, go to college. They're
living vicariously through their child.
Yeah, yes, and that's exactly what it is. And it didn't turn out the way, that he's not man enough, or he's not a big football player or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Or she ain't feminine enough.
Yeah, and I always got that, but not from my parents. Not from my parents. My parents are very accepting. They're like, whatever, girl, you go for it. I went to my Doc Martin phase. I still love Doc Martin, but I went through all that stuff. They were like, yeah, girl, get it.
Be who with you want to be with. Period. Point blank.
And still my parents are very accepting of who I am right now. I'm blessed with that. Thank God.
No, I think we just confused a lot of people.
What?
I think she was married for 16, 17
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Y'all watched last week, so we just went through that whole marriage conversation. And yeah.
I'm with a woman now. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And been a while now, but
an amazing woman at that.
Yes, very amazing. And I'm very private.
Yeah.
I'm very private, and it's not that I'm ashamed of it. I don't care what relation. I'm just very personal and private, because people, that goes for anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what. I'm just because I just don't like people in my business. Don't like people, and that don't matter what I'm doing. That's how I am. But yeah, and they're very supportive of me now, because they know I am who I am, and I've always been this way.
Yeah.
Even as a child, I knew. Even as a young child, and I was having thoughts that no child should have.
Well, I don't know about her thoughts, but I knew she was.
Yeah. And I kept thinking, if anybody don't know, I'm they're dumb as fuck. My God, I was like the biggest.
It was
and
there.
I had people tell my mom and dad at a young age I was such a tomboy, and I was very confused. I was like, why? It's very.
Now, how was you able to bring that conversation up with your parents? Because that's where a lot of these, especially
I didn't then, because I didn't even understand it. I felt like, you're having these male and female energies, and myself, and it's very trying to. I'm 5, 6 years old. I knew. Very young, and you fight it off because you want to be normal like everyone else.
But what is really normal?
But I'm saying normal because when you're growing up, you want to be like, okay. I I guess want to fit in, whatever. But I obviously
that when it comes into that normalcy of you gotta grow up, get married, have
the
kids.
same pattern. Get married, have kids, be the little whatever, wave your kids off, all that whatever. Great, good for you, but it's not my life. I mean, woo, yay, but not my life. As a child, I knew, but I fought it, and I just pushed it down, deep down, deep down.
And you went with the normalcy. You found
I did the best I could, which, come on. And I didn't really do anything. I mean, I was just try to push it down deep inside.
But there's a lot of children.
But I did come to my mom a few times. I was like, Mama, I think I'm...
But you felt comfortable to go to your parents, yeah?
I didn't really know what to think. I knew they weren't going to hate me back and what I didn't think. I didn't know. And I understand why people don't come out because it's very, very traumatic. Because it's such a fear.
Yeah.
And it's such, and me, I'm like, blah, and I was like, that was a big thing because it's such a vulnerable part of me. And that was very, very, very difficult for me to do. And I remember one day I was in like 4th, 5th grade and I come to my mom. And it wasn't like fantasy about it. It wasn't like that. It was just like a knowing. And I thought, I think I'm blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay. But, but she we just played it off or whatever. And I just went about my business. And another thing, a lot of people think that gay women or men or whatever, just because you have the same sex friends. Yeah. They think, well, I wonder if this person's attracted me.
You know what? Yeah, I've heard that. And people will be like, well, why? You hang around with, I said, I hang around with everybody.
I'm just like,
just because
I got friends when we got massages and naked Jaber. I don't think nothing of it. It's just like a sister thing for me. I'm like, no, it's not like that. Not at all. It's not abnormal. It's not like fantasize. It's nothing.
I don't get it. I think the first time I walked into, I accidentally walked into it was a women's gay night. Or lesbian night at one of the clubs in Atlanta. I had left for the military and I came back and I walked in. I was like, yeah, this club was always jumping back in the day. We're going to go here. And it was a Friday night. I had brought some people with me and everything. Like, we walked in and the dude kept looking at me at the door kind of funny. Like, you don't belong here. And I was like, man, look, I came to have a good time. This was popping back in the, 90s, mid-90s, late 90s or whatever. I walked inside and I noticed it looked like some little boys walking around, like young men walking around. I was like, did we hit the teenage spot? I didn't realize.
They all like Justin Bieber.
Listen.
Little Biebers running around.
I had no idea that it was a lesbian night. And there's some women out there that look like little boys. They look
really did.
I did not.
She really did.
I walked in and I walked up to the bar.
They're all little Biebers. They look like Justin Little Biebers.
No, these listen. There's some dudes out there that are really females that look like some fine ass men.
Yeah.
There's some females out there that were dudes at one point that are some beautiful ass women.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, at the same time, you do need to be upfront.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
People hide it, and then it comes down to the business.
That's going to be...
You're testing with somebody's true emotions at that point. So you have to give that individual the option.
Mm-hmm.
You might be a beautiful woman, but your pants hang low. You know what I mean? You might be a fine ass dude, but you got a slit the same as me.
Damn feet to dig.
With strap on. You know what I mean? But you have to give somebody the option. You can't just... People getting hurt. People are getting hurt. And I really
don't sexualize a child. If you see a child that's young and they're tomboyish, don't sexualize them. Don't talk to the parents and say... There's still memories that I had growing up. I remember... I was little, and there was a lot for a kid to take in. Somebody talking to my parents, you might need to keep an eye on her. She might be gay.
Well, what do you mean keep an eye on me?
You're sexualizing a child, first of all.
For one, you need to keep an eye on me because I'm your child. And make sure I'm safe.
My parents never paid attention. They're like, okay, but...
there are some moms.
My dad did cry a little bit, but he said, that's my baby.
Well, most men don't care about women on women anyway.
But he was like, that's my baby, I don't care.
I think the biggest shock is for young boys. Young boys have
Women
the
can get away
hardest
with it
time.
more, like it's more accepted.
Yeah, because especially on all the little flicks and the tapes back in the day, you had women on women doing everything. So
I'm always like,
But you know, the little titty tapes is what they used to call them. You know, so it was more accepted with women to be with other women, not necessarily in a couple, just in a sexual manner. It's like every man's fantasy type situation. You know what I mean? But dudes on dudes. Man, them jokers, I have a heart attack. And I don't get it. I don't understand. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. But that's that man's business.
Yeah,
or that's that woman's business.
I mean, and me being a gay, there's still things I don't understand. I'm like, okay, you do you. You know, like the wanting to be another. No, I'm.
Why
I'm
is
totally
society
androgynous.
still
No, this
so
is who I
against
am.
it?
You know,
Society
I got
is
babies
still...
that might be little, but they hear. You know, and I mean, they mosquito bites, but you know they hear. No, I'm not trying to be a man. You know, it's a balance for me of energy.
But there's different types.
Yeah, and I don't care.
You have transgender men. You got women that you know they know they embrace their feminism, but they use a strap on late at night. You know, I mean that's their bit. The bottom line is that person's business.
Yep.
Who are we to be so mad to beat the hell out of somebody?
I know. Because
of who they decide to be with. That's the part that gets me. It's not your fucking business.
In the subconscious. You know, it's like,
oh, what the Bible says. Hold on, player, because if we want to start getting real biblical around here and historical around here, some of them countries still do Man Love Thursdays. Women are for babies and men are for pleasure. Yes, they have them in certain countries, but they will beat the shit out of a man that's gay. But you had a hand in on that person being bisexual or gay or whatever, because they're still raping little boys overseas for pleasure, and it was illegal. Like nobody's stopping them from doing it, and they're still marrying off child brides. Like this shit is ridiculous. So here we have the freedom to choose what we want to be. And if you call yourself any type of religious individual and you shun somebody because of who they love, baby, you might need to repent yourself. Ooh. And that's just me coming to you real. That's like, true. Stop trying to judge the next person. You ain't sleeping with that person. You're not going home with that individual. It ain't none of your fucking business what they do behind closed doors. Well, they can do what they want behind closed doors. You just don't put it on display. Don't nobody want your wrinkled ass on display. But we accept you. You know what I mean? Just accept people for who they are. Now, there are some people that want to be flamboyant and act like the world owes them something. I done seen that before, too.
I know a couple of those, yeah.
The world don't owe you nothing because you are who you are. Not that you decided who you are, but you are who you are, and you decided to come out. Ain't no, don't bow your chest up and start getting cocky like the world owes you something.
No, nobody owes you anything.
Be true, be you. Had an open conversation, but you ain't got to start off with conversation with, hey, I'm Hersh. You know what I mean? And you say, hey, I'm Flea, I'm gay. You know that.
I know, that's just it. I'm like,
this shit is retarded.
Why do you say that?
I didn't know. Like, how you didn't know? I knew. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I know.
I don't get it. But I've heard people that explore and do what they do during their college days, their little whole days, drunken days, whatever.
That's the party days.
Exactly. Women are being, and then get mad when their child is transgender. But you tested them waters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you be mad?
Because they want to live their life through them, and they're not. It's not expectations. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, they're not a college. They don't have a scholarship.
As long as your child grows up to be a respectful young man or young woman, or and they're not
the common sense and the morals and ethics.
You can
that means more to me than honest to God.
Raise your child and allow them to make their own decisions on who and what they desire to do, as long as it is not illegal or unsafe. Yep. At the end of the day. And stay out their bedroom. That ain't none of your business.
But knocking on the door.
But until next time, please have the open conversations with your children.
It makes a world of difference.
Stop denying it. Stop hiding from it. Have the open conversations and learn how to support. There are support groups out there. Find your tribe. Period. This is the HERshyt Show. Have that talk. Stay to yourself.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheHershytShow. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.
Subscribe to The HERshyt Show on YouTube and Facebook. Support by purchasing merchandise at www.8robinsons.com.